Now that Sephora's spring savings event has ended, I'd like to give you some of my thoughts that helped me get through the sale. I should add, without overspending. So grab yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, whatever you like, and sit back and I'll tell you how the sale went for me. Okay, I was excited for this sale. As usual, we all get hyped. It only comes twice a year, and of course it's come and gone. But Nordstrom had a sale prior to this sale. They had 15% off beauty. It was their beauty event. So I purchased a few things from that sale, which you may have seen. Some Prada items and some good foundations that I enjoyed using. But when it came to this sale, I knew the Sephora sale is good because there's a wider selection of beauty items available here. Now don't get me wrong, Nordstrom sale is really good and they have quite a bit, but they don't have everything like Sephora tends to. I think they tend to have more. So I was intrigued with this sale. Of course, I saw people left and right, their YouTube videos on what they thought we needed for this sale, what they were getting and what was new, and just the most wonderful thing out there. So I looked at a few of those and I got hyped as well. But then I came to the conclusion that I need to rein in my spending, not just because of the current events, just because I need better control. So I had to work with myself during the sale, and I looked at the code and it said save more. And I said, really? I get 20% off. I'm Rouge. I want to maintain that. I think I do. So I went about putting things in my cart. I just added things here, there, whatever I thought I would like to try. Some things that were on my short list, long list, I put them right in my cart, but I let them sit there because I wasn't ready to pull the trigger. Guys, I've already done a few things to my face. As you can see, I have the primer on my eyelids, and I went in with the Grand Lash FMD. This is a growth serum for your lashes. I got this from my tattoo lady when I had my brows done. She also sold me a brow gel, and this is a clear brow gel. No, it's not. It's a brown black eye gel. It is the Grand Brow Fill, and I've done that already. So my face is about to get primed. I've already done some moisturizing, and I'm having a few issues with my skin right now because I went in hard in a couple of areas. Plus it's a little dry for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. Well, I'm going to go with Instant Matte. It's just in my T-zone from YSL. So getting back to the sale here, I don't know where I stopped, but I wanted to say that the Save More code got me thinking that I could actually save more if I was more meticulous with what I was shopping for. So what I did was I added everything to my cart. Like I said, I think I remember saying this, everything from my short and long list and from things that people suggested on their videos to my cart. And I said, wow, do you really want to spend this much money? No, you don't. You know you don't. Should you? No. No, you shouldn't. So I said, how can I edit my cart? What can I, get rid of? What don't I need? So to do that, I went over to my makeup drawers behind me, and I just shifted through looking at the makeup that I had, and the makeup that was old, and the makeup that maybe I needed to fill in, for what I didn't have. Like maybe a new primer because it was old, or foundation because it was old. Not really. But anyway, that was my thinking. And then I did the same thing with the skincare. I looked at all the skincare I had in my bathroom and what I really felt like was running out or I wanted to replace. And that's how I decided to tackle this sale. All along, I was still looking at a few videos, and I was also wrestling and going over and over in my head, you don't need that, you have plenty, things like that. You know how your mind talks to you. And at the same time, on the other side, on my shoulder, so to speak, I heard this little voice saying, oh, but it would be nice to try that. Oh, you need to see that. It says matte and it does this and it does that. So I was wrestling with myself, needless to say. So then what I decided to do was to really get in there and be realistic with my collection of skincare and makeup, to weed out things from that list that I felt I didn't need. I'm going to go in with Pat McGrath. This is her latest palette, and this is the Petalmorphos palette. And I have done one look already with this palette, so I thought I would go back in and just do another look with it on camera. I didn't use all the shades at that time, so I want to go in with some shades I did not use and create a look today. Before, I went in with this beautiful color here. I went in here, I went in here, and I went in here, and I think I went into this one. So that leaves me with this lighter green here, these two on the end, and this one. That's 3, 4, and I think this one would make 5. I don't think I used that one. I think I used 5 before. So I'm going to choose between those last 5 to see what look I want to create. But I really want to keep it quite simple, I'm feeling like. Oh, and please excuse me for the earphones. I don't have the cordless ones. And also the lawn guys are out there, so they're coming and going. But I just went on with this video anyhow. So I weeded out things and I decided that I really only needed, even though I wanted makeup, I only needed skincare. And the skincare that I felt I needed to replenish, because I was actually low in the bottle of this one, was the Peace Out Acne Serum. And that's what I purchased. I purchased it from Sephora, but prior to pushing that button, I went on to Peace Out's site to see if they were offering a better deal. And they were not. At the time, it was 15% off. But they do give you points so that you can add up and take away from your order, money-wise. But that's about it. But I have purchased from the site before. They have recently had a 50% off, and I missed it, so I was feeling a little sour about that, or salty as they say. But I said, okay, let me think about this a little more, and before long I got an email from Peace Out saying we'll give you 20% off instead of 15% off. And I said, but Sephora, I keep my rouge, I'm adding to that. Plus, I get the 20% off like Peace Out is offering me. But in addition, I get samples. That's where Sephora won out. So I only shopped for the serum, even though, I used their cleanser and I used their moisturizer. But that's all I needed. But the Sephora sale, the spring event, with their Save More code, won out. But I feel like in my head, because my motto was spend less, save more, I won. So my samples, I got the free sample, 2 of them, because I didn't use any points with this order. I got the Dermalogical. This is their special cleansing gel. So I got this as a sample. This will be great for me to take on my trip in June. I'm just going, a couple hours away with girlfriends. And then I got a sample of Gucci. This is their foundation, so I thought I would like to try this. You get the samples here to choose from, which best suits your skin tone and skin coloring or whatever. So that's the reason why Sephora won out. I feel like I got my holy grail. I got it at 20% off, and then I got some samples, and I love getting samples from Sephora, so I'm a happy camper. I did go back in, because I only ordered one at the time, and reordered another one of these, and I did that also so that I could get another sample of this, and I think I got another sample, but then I also got, what else did I get for 100 points? Oh, I got a green kale wash, face wash. So I'm happy about that with 100 points. So that's about all. Have you taken a sip of your drink? So that's how I tackled the savings event from Sephora. And it was a struggle, y'all. It really was a struggle for me. And I don't know why I let it be, but I do have that inner battle of shopping, controlling my shopping. And I'm not perfect. And I don't do a very good job with that. But I'm working on it. So I am going to go into this beautiful green here. And I think you can hear that the lawn guys are back. Ooh, that is pretty. That's like a forest green. It's a matte eyeshadow, and it's a deep forest or winter green. And I'm not going to do anything special. I may just use 2 colors, shadows from this palette, or I may even try them all. Who knows? Okay, now that the lawnmower has stopped for a moment, I think I wanted to just come in and let you know what I did here. I gave myself a really smoky eye so far using the Petalmorphous palette. I used this deep, deep green here, as you could see, this light shimmery green, which I did get some fallout from. I went in with my finger as well as the brush, and then I went in with this gold-like shade here for the inner corner, and of course I took the darker green again and went down on the lower lash line. This is a smoky, grungy look. I'm not mad at it at all. I rather like it. It is completely different from the look I gave you before with the same palette. So you see, you can go from 1 to 100 in a flash with this palette. It is gorgeous. I'm going to put on some eyelash primer from Dior. I'll let that dry. And I want to put on my glasses and talk about the Gucci samples that I have. I actually have a couple of products from Gucci that I've purchased, but let's first look at the sample. So like I said, I got this Gucci foundation sampler here, and it's a 24-hour wear breathable foundation, and it's a luminous matte finish, it says. So you get 5 little samples to choose from, and they say that you find your shade. So your skin tone is the number. So this here is the 100 number, the 200s, the 300s, 400s, and 500s. There's 40 shades of foundation in this collection. I'm hoping that there is about 8 in each skin tone range. And then second, they want you to look for your skin undertone, and that's preface it by a letter. So the letter is on the other side here. The N is for neutral. The C, which is, do they give us one? They don't give us a C. I'm looking at the back here. C is for cool, N is for neutral, W is for warm, and O is for olive. They don't give us any olive. They give us neutral, warm, warm, neutral, neutral. So it says that this is, again, 24-hour wear, no transfer, full coverage, comfort, and hydration from this foundation. It's weightless, and it's a breathable foundation, weightless texture, and a luminous matte finish with shine control. And if you want to find out more about this foundation, you can go to www.gucci.com. So they have the ingredients of each shade that they're offering in this sampler on the back. I'm going to go with 410 neutral, which is a medium deep. I have the Gucci mascara. This is Lash by Lash. It's a buildable volumizing mascara. Also, as a sample, I've had these 2 samples here for a while. This was not with this order. This is the Glow and Care lip color. So you get 4 lip colors here and a little brush to apply them. Now, what I already own from Gucci in the way of lipsticks, it's only one. I believe I only have one lipstick. And this one is Agatha Orange. I've had this a while. It is a beautiful shade. I just love a good orange lipstick for some reason, and this is it. This is a matte formula, as you can see there. No shimmer, no shine. And I also have a blush from Gucci, and it's in 06 Warm Berry. And that's what she looks like. Right there. And finally from Gucci, I have a face powder. I have it in 05, and I think this is the deepest shade that they offered. And I think it runs a little red, and the lawnmowers are starting up again, as you can hear. And there it is, right there. So those are the 3 products, full-size products that I have from Gucci. I will be applying either one of these or the Agatha Orange on my lips today, but I'll definitely use the powder and the blush along with the foundation and the mascara. And my eyes again are Pat McGrath from her Petalmorphous palette. So let's get started with the foundation. As I said, I'm taking the neutral here, medium deep neutral, and I'm going to use that as my foundation, and I'm going to try to use the deep as my contour or bronzer. See if that'll work. But they do have some nice shades here if you're interested in this sample. I did order another one of these samples with the second serum I ordered. It's got a kind of medium texture. I mean, it's not runny and it's not stiff either. Let's see how it blends in. Now, I really wanted to try this as a sample because of the finish. Not totally matte, but not totally luminous as well. I believe there's a little scent to it. Now I let this sit a little longer here, and it's still able to work it out without any problem. I'm wondering if I'll have to put some of the deep down as well to just kind of balance it out if it doesn't oxidize. And if you're wondering what I'm listening to, it's very meditative, very relaxing, very calm. She's Chantress Saba. And I'm sorry I can't let you listen to her because I will get copyrighted. But I really felt like I needed to listen. See, my skin is peeling, and you probably see that already. And I've got lots of fallout. Let me try to clean this up. Take my little sponge here with a little bit more, work it in, and stop pulling and dragging on my skin and allowing the skin to peel. I couldn't see it when I was away from the magnification. I have some dry patches that it is kind of sticking to slightly, but not overly bad. Now, I don't have a concealer, as you know, from Gucci, so I'm going in with, I think I have NARS out. I do. Shake that up because I haven't used it in a while. And before I set this, I want to go in with that foundation in the deeper shade in Deep. And it is definitely looking a little red to me there. I am going to try to dot this on my skin with the foundation brush I used before. It is definitely red. Yeah, can you see that redness there? So not too much. A lot came with that. Take my sponge and work that in. Ooh, a little bit goes a long ways with this foundation. At least it'll give me a little. Ooh, it is really red. I was thinking it would give me a little bit of deepness around the outer perimeter of my face. But the thought that just came to me when I was thinking about how red this is that I think I felt the same way about the powder. It's extremely red on. I was hoping the powder could help tame this down, but I don't know. Look at that. Truly red. Went down too far on this side, I think. Okay, let's go under the eyes. The lawnmowers are coming back, so I will just speed through this. Okay guys, this is the look that I got from my Gucci samples plus my Pat McGrath Petalmorphous palette. I want to hold it up the right way. So this is the look for today. It's rather deep, right? I think it's more of a nighttime look, or I don't know, fall look, winter look. I wanted to use the orange, but I also wanted to use as many of the samples that I could use today for this look. That's one of the beauties of ordering from Sephora, is that you get to use your points if you have them. And I chose to use mine for the next order that's coming. Like I said, it's a face wash. And you get samples, at least 2 samples with every order by mail. And that's why I placed 2 separate orders, so that I could get a total of 4 samples and then use my 100 points when I beefed up my points enough so that I could get a 100 point sample, because I use my points each time I shop usually. But yeah, this is the look. My skin is quite dry today. The foundation, did I look and see whether or not it was full coverage? Let's check that out. Or not. Did I read that? 24-hour wear, no transfer, full coverage. I did read that. But I got full coverage. I feel like on the second application, I still see my glass mark there. But as far as some of the pimple issues, they're not as prominent. You know, the discoloration from the pimples. I'll take these out. I am looking forward to foundation like this for those summer months when it is extremely hot and you want to go out with full coverage or foundation on. I think this will be a good foundation. Yes, I'm looking and feeling a little orange, but not as much as I did initially. I think it has settled into my skin, and I think it is finding its way to my natural color. I feel like my chest, neck, and face are about the same shade. So I think this is a pretty good foundation for me. I haven't worn it all day. I'm just putting it on, as you can tell. I didn't go back in with my eyes and put on mascara, did I? Forgot about the mascara. Let's do that. Where is that sample of mascara? Right here. See how I forget things? So you get this little bit here. And let's look at the wand. The wand is not bad. I'm just going to take it back in and make sure I coat it really well. The wand isn't too bad, if you can see that. So let's put it on. I totally forgot about this. Now, I've had this a while, but yeah, I see it coming on. It's coating my lashes. I think it's perfect right now. I think it has sat long enough to be how I like my mascaras to be, on, not really wet and not really dry. So not dried out, but just right. Ooh, the mascara is pretty nice. I like it. Overall, I like everything I used. I like the foundation. I just feel that Gucci runs a little orange for me in my shades, from the powder to the foundation. The lips feel really nice. It's not an overly red lipstick, so I like that about it. It's a daytime red as well as an evening red. And the blush. I like it. It's a very nice blush. So everything is a-okay in my book. I'm glad I picked up these samples to try out with you, and along with the products I already had in my collection, this was fun for me. And it was fun getting through the Sephora spring event sale without overspending. Spending less but saving more, and being wise about what I selected. I hope you were too if you shopped the sale, and this is something for us to remember as we go into other sales, because there will be more temptations, more chances to buy. You know, we have to just take it one step at a time. But when you go into those other sales, I think you will do good to employ some of these methods. I mean, it just definitely worked for me. It was simply a matter of just concentrating, being mindful, going through what I have and don't have, and seeing what it is that I really wanted or needed to add to my collection without overspending. And I'm so glad I did, because I feel like I could have gone down a rabbit hole of makeup and skincare, but I really selected the skincare that I was running low on and that I know I use the most of. Now, as far as washes, I have several washes. I can use the Peace Out brand, or I can use my Fenty brand, or some of the other ones I have, and that's no problem. I need to use up some of those before I purchase a new one. But this serum was something that I definitely use twice a day, and that I was nearly out of. I needed one more, and I thought, why not get another one for backup, because 20% off and more samples, that's up my alley. Guys, I thank you for joining me today. If you have not subscribed to this channel, I hope you will consider being a friend of this channel, because for us beauties over 60, there's a lot to consider. Whether or not our makeup is on correctly, you know, I have to use my magnification mirror. Whether or not our skin is right for the makeup we're choosing. I feel like this foundation will be great for me for the summer, even though my skin is peeling now, and even though I went in with a matte primer, I could very easily change that out and go with a regular primer, but most of my primers are matte because my skin has been so oily. But right now it's going through a season. I don't know why, but it is, and I just have to deal with it. I could have opted just to use the standalone skin moisturizer from Sephora hydration cream that I used prior to using the primer, but I chose to go in with the primer because I know my T-zone. And you saw where it was peeling, and where it's actually peeling is down here where I did not apply any of the YSL matte primer. So it was going to peel anyway, and there's nothing I could do about that right now. So guys, us mature beauties, we do have to be selective in our skincare, really checking out our skin, as everybody does, but especially when we go through menopause and our skin changes, and from day to day it can be different. And also when we develop fine lines, and when we have some oiliness, some dryness, all in the same pretty much area. But we have to tackle those things with different products. So we have to see what works best for us and our skin type. And also not going overboard with our makeup. Choosing when an eye like this is best to wear and when it isn't. And that's so important, because when we were younger we could get away with a lot. But as we mature and we age, we have to be more selective about the products and when we use them and where we're going with those particular products on. So I hope I've given you enough insight about these Gucci products and the samples, and my thought, what was going through my mind, my head, when I was shopping the Sephora special event or spring event sale. Yeah, guys, I like this look. Would I go out to the grocery store with this look? Probably not. It's a little much. Most likely not. But would I go to dinner with this look? Of course. And that's how I'm going to leave it. Like, comment, talk to me down in the comment section. Yeah, I love to hear you babble on about this look, about these products, whatever. Have you tried them? What do you think of samples? Do you use your samples? Do you just stash them away? I mean, somewhere around here, I have a bag of my latest samples, you know, just some that I really want to keep and try out. Some I'm taking with me on my little trip in a couple of months, like the the sunscreen here, maybe even the Tatcha here. I may take that. And I love the First Aid Beauty products. I have a lotion here and a face wash here. I really like my samples that I get from Sephora or anywhere else. But yes, this video was basically about the Sephora savings event and how I tackled it in my head and how I felt like I could spend less and save more. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.